And the last part of this review is going to be about z-scores and normal distributions. So a student scored 75 on a biology exam with a mean of 80 and a standard deviation of 5. She also scored 89% on a literature exam with a mean of 92 and a standard deviation of 3. Compare her scores on each test relative to other students in the class, and it says assume that both sets of scores were normally distributed. Even if they weren't normally distributed, we can still find a z-score for this. So remember, a z-score, let me write this down, a z-score is equal to the actual value minus the mean divided by the standard deviation. So if we took a look at the bio exam, she got a 75 minus the mean divided by the standard deviation. She had a z-score of -1, which means she scored 1 standard deviation below the mean. If we did the same thing for the literature exam, she also had a z-score of -1. So relative to other students in each class, she performed equally well, or she performed the same on both exams. And now, the prices of rooms per night at hotels near Grant Park are normally distributed with a mean of 275 and a standard deviation of $30. Let's find these probabilities. Remember, whenever they tell you they're normally distributed, you can go ahead and draw this bell-shaped curve and you can identify your mean right there and then find the values that they're asking you for. The cost of a room is greater than $300. Well, I know $300 is more than 275, and I'm going to go into my calculator. If I press second bars, and I'm going to go to normal CDF. We always use normal CDF. We never use normal PDF. Normal CDF, and then it'll tell you what values to enter. If it doesn't, you're going to enter the minimum, the maximum, the mean, and the standard deviation on there. If I do that, 20.2% of the rooms cost greater than $300. For part B, it says the cost of a room is between $200 and $250. I know it's approximately normal. Here's the mean. Here's 200 and 250, and I want to find the area in between that. So normal CDF, there's the minimum, maximum, mean, standard deviation in order to get our answer. Part C says if only the most expensive 10% of the rooms are available, I know that that would mean these. What is the least amount you will pay for a room? So in this case, I'm not asking you for the percent like I did in this problem and this problem. I'm asking you to find the cost. I'm asking you to find the x value. If you're ever looking for an x value, that's when you'll use inverse norm. And for that, you're going to enter the area to the left of it, the mean, and the standard deviation. And depending on your calculator, you can enter the area to the right of it. It depends on if your calculator does that or not. And so $313.45 would be the least amount of money you would pay if you were in the most expensive 10%. And the last part on here, the middle 30% of all rooms are between what two prices? So I want to find the middle 30% right here. So I know that the mean is $275. If I wanted to find this value right here, well, if I did 100 minus 30%, I would get 75%. 75% divided by 2 is 35%. So this area right here is 35%. If I want to find that value right there, I'm going to do inverse norm with 35% right there. And then if I wanted to find, let me change this color. If I wanted to find this value right here, well, I need to find the area to the left of that. I know that that's 30% and that's 35%, so that area is 65%. If I want to find that value there, I'm going to do inverse norm with 65%. And so the middle 30% of the rooms are between these two amounts right here.